We will first start by configuring the drive in COMBIVIS 6, our drive software. We will scan for a drive. We will add the drive. We will go into the field bus wizard and configure it for Modbus TCP. We will load the standard process data mapping and run a software reset. Once the reset is complete, we'll go into the device parameters tab. We will go into the field bus parameters. We will double check that FB68 has Modbus selected. We will go into FB109 to select the IP address of the drive. We will use the default 192.168.0.100 for this tutorial. We'll also keep the subnet mask at 255.255.255.0. We also want to make sure that FB114 has a static IP address configuration and that FB115 is 0. If your IP address is assigned by DHCP, you can change that in FB114. But for this tutorial, we'll be using a static IP address. Every time you change field bus parameters, you will need to do a software reset for the changes to apply. To demonstrate connecting over Modbus TCP from PLC to drive, we will be using COMBIVIS Studio 6, our PLC programming software, which is built on the Codesys environment. We will also be using the built-in soft PLC from Codesys. We will open a new project. We'll add a device. And we will select Codesys Control Win V3, the soft PLC. I will select my PC. We will create a task configuration. We will add a task for the newly created POU. Once we do that, we'll add an Ethernet adapter, add the Modbus TCP client, which will serve as our master, and then we will add the Modbus TCP server, which will serve as our slave. We will select the correct network adapter that will be connected to our drive, and then we will add the IP address configured in FB109 from the drive. Next, we will go into the Modbus slave channels. We will create a channel. We will use function code 3 to read the values that's being sent from the drive to the PLC. The offset will stay at 0, and since Modbus uses words, we will have to convert the number of bytes to the number of words. For our example, we have 13 bytes that's being sent from the drive to the PLC. To convert bytes to words, you divide the number of bytes by 2. So if we have 13 bytes, divide that by 2, we get 6.5 words. And since we want all of our bytes in the process data, we will round up to 7 total words. We can click OK. We can add another channel for the data that's being sent from the PLC to the drive. We can use function code 16, and we'll make sure the offset is 0. Again, Modbus uses words, so we will have to convert the number of bytes that we have. So for our example, we will take 22, we will divide that by 2, and we get a nice clean number of 11. So now we have 2 channels, channel 0 for the 7 words that are being sent from the drive to the PLC, and channel 1 for the 11 words that are being sent from the PLC to the drive. We will now go into our POU and add 2 separate arrays for the data. One array being for the read values off of the drive, and another for the values that are being written to the drive. We will also add the status word as an example of how to use this data. We will also write to the first word of the write values array to our newly created variable status word. We will now go back into our Modbus server configuration. We will go into Modbus TCP server I/O mapping, and we will map our arrays into the corresponding channels. We will build our code. We will download our program into our PLC. and we will start. You can see our data is being transferred. We have data off of the drive. We're also writing to the drive. We have a status word of 112. And we are writing 1 to the first word of the process data configuration from the PLC to the drive. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us at KEBAmerica.com.